guys, I just wanted to share with you a little project that I'm doing. I'm going to do a little lathe turning and a little bandsaw cutting. So this is going to be a little project that's going to control the oil temperature for my Foundry furnace. So I'll throw on the clip and you guys can see what I'm working on, and I'll probably end up making it a series, so we'll have several pieces that I'm gonna post in there, and I hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, so the first thing I was gonna do for this first part here is cut out a piece of aluminum. This is about 3/4 inch thick, and we need a 3-inch circular piece there. So I figured this tape would work sufficiently for a little outline there. So that's about 3.25 inches all the way around. So that would give me some stock to remove off of there, and I think I just outlined this in there, and then I'm gonna run it across the bandsaw and cut that piece out, and then we'll chuck it up on the lathe and we'll get turning. So we got this cut out. Now we're going to chuck it up on the lathe, and we're going to turn our part. Now, because this part isn't perfectly circular, it's not going to be super important to dial it in on the 4-jaw chuck. So we're just going to get it as close as we can just by eyeballing it, and then we will cut it all in a little bit. So we'll start first by turning down the smaller diameter first, and then we'll flip it around and chuck it in back on the jaws. Then we will dial it in pretty much perfectly, and then we'll turn the outside diameter for the 3 inches there. And then that should pretty much be turned. So let's get started. something screwed up with that threaded screw inside this the apron there. So I've got to keep on unbinding it because it gets bound somehow in there. Eventually I'll take this all apart and take a look at it, but for right now I really need this lathe to work for me, so I'm just going to have to keep doing this. Keep going across this face. Clean it up a little bit there. And that should be it. Okay. Now we're going to drill and center drill. So this this hole needs to be 8 millimeters, or 6 millimeters, excuse me. And I don't have a 6 millimeter drill bit, so what I'm going to do is find the closest thing I can to it. Shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, so I've got a .236 drill bit, well, pretty close to that. It's a couple 3 thou under, but generally drill bits tend to drill oversized anyway. So that should bring us very close to our target dimension. Just center drill this. To get it started. Now we'll flip this out, put in our size that we want. Here we go. Put a little tapping fluid on. Keep the chips from sticking. Get it in that hole. Okay, as you can see, this drill bit's not sharpened perfectly straight because there were heavier chips coming out of one side, more one flute than the other. So we know that this isn't going to be perfectly the same size as the drill bit, which is fine because we want it to be a little oversized. And we'll check our fit. Okay, so we got our shaft there and it fits in. It's a little looser than I'd like. Actually, it's a lot looser than I'd like. But we're gonna have a little set screw that's gonna go in there and go on this. And this is only a 3 RPM motor, so it's not like it's gonna really screw anything up if we're not perfectly centered on the shaft there. So I think we'll be okay. But that should do just fine. Alright, now we're going to flip the part over and we'll machine this outer diameter here, and then we'll just clean up the face on that and we should be done with this after we tap and drill the hole for the set screw. We got it all chucked up, it's dialed in. Now turn that OD there. Okay, I just knocked the camera down, but we're back up again. Alright, so I just cleaned off the chips off of that tool bit there. There's a little build up on it. Nick that edge there. We'll take a measurement. Should bring us right to pretty close to 3 inches. Near there. That is right on. At least as far as the dial calipers go. There, so we're good. Right there is 0. We're going to move in. Take a look at the drawing again we've got. So 2, just so we have our magnetic base isn't hanging off the edge there. Okay. Let me go take a look at the drawing real quick. Okay, so that's that 1 inch hole, or a 1/2 inch hole right there. And I don't think I'm going to do a 1/2 inch hole. I think it'll be a little bit smaller than that, depending on the bolt that I find, because I'm just using some scrap bolts here to do this. Okay, so we're going to go in 4 3/8. 4 3/8. It's going to be 750 right there. Alright, now we're just going to make a little witness mark. Now, because of the radius of this tool and everything, it's not going to be perfectly where it should be, but it'll be close enough. So that'll be good enough. Alright, now we know exactly where our hole is going to be. Close. The thickness of it, like I said, doesn't really matter. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to be right where those dimensions are, but that's fine. If I were actually doing this for production or something like that, I'd be a little more careful about it, but seeing that we're just doing this for prototyping, it should work just fine.